15 seconds to go, and we on the stage 2 of the Get Rolling. Yes, you saw it. Sadly, my FTP increased from 428 to 444. Man, won't y'all slow down and let me keep my FTP lower? And we're off. And it increased on the second race. And you would think it would increased on this one, because I thought I was pushing myself a lot harder, but I wasn't. This is a great race. There was 32 people in this race, and I was hoping that I would have more competitors in this one, but on the other one, on the next one, I had a lot more competitors on that one. And it was a lot of fun on that race. I enjoyed this race. This race was really good. I'm coming in feeling good. As you can see, the gravel really not bothering me that much no more because of my power I'm putting out now, and I can do it consistently without getting tired. So with me being able to do that, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm pushing a pace that I can sustain. And then with me being in the red a lot, that's gonna change a little bit because my FTP went up. So with that change, that won't be red so much no more. It'll be more of a high yellow now. So I'm doing good. I feel great. My legs feel a lot stronger. I had a nice rest. I had a 2-day rest before I ran this one, so I felt good. On the next one, I ran, and I felt real good. I ran that one with Kevin Brown and D Miller. I don't know who Kevin Brown is. I've never seen him before, but D Miller, we raced against each other before plenty of times on the second race. But this race, I didn't have nobody here that I knew. So since I didn't have nobody I knew, and I did not know the course, my course action when I don't know a course is just to keep my power up at a nice little higher than normal level and just go, because I don't know what's inside the course. Now I was able to see that the course wasn't that high. I think it was maximum climb of maybe 300 feet, so that'd be what, 100 meters for most. So 89, 100 meters. So I figured this wasn't gonna be a too tall race, so I just kind of burnt it out. I didn't know that it was gonna be gravel in it, but kind of the looks of it, when I looked at the race, I kind of figured it was gonna be some. I was just hoping it wasn't much. And turns out I was right, it wasn't much of it in here. I think it has 2 extended gravel spots that you have to deal with, but they're not big enough to actually cause you any problems. So, especially with that not being that, and I'm not at the point where I have to slow down to a crawl when I'm hitting them now, I feel great. I feel great about this race. So as we're running, I look back and I look up, and I think I'm almost 3/4 done of the race, and I noticed that I have a significant lead on everyone. So with that being said, I just try to maintain. You can see my green is starting to come, my red is starting to come down more yellow. You see some green starting to creep in now, because it's as you start looking up and you start looking at the lead that you have, you kind of decrease a little bit because you don't have to push that hard. On the next race, I had to push all the way to the end. And as you see at the beginning, it caused me to push my FTP up. Now, D Miller said I pushed his up too, because he was thanking me for having to make him push his up because we raced so hard that race. But man, this was a great race. This one was a real good race, but the next one was fabulous. Now, I like the way they did this race. I may run it Saturday, I don't know, but Saturday no, I'm not running it Saturday. I may run it Sunday, I'll put it that way. The thing is, because Saturday I'm doing the 5 a.m. Swift Insider, and I'm doing the 11 o'clock Swift Insiders. So what I'm gonna do is do those 4 in the morning, take a break, get a good nap in, get my legs cooled off, and then I'm gonna do it again in the afternoon at 11. So you will see me in both of those. If anybody's like to race with me or anybody's out there want to run, I'm gonna be in those 2 races then. So I spared these 2 races because it's 2 races. If I would have ran them back to back, this thing would have been almost an hour long, 45 minutes. So it didn't make no sense in making it that long. So I sped it up. Plus, it was nothing but me riding, and I know I'm the most magnificent thing and since bike that ever been made, but y'all don't want to look at me that long. So I sped it up and just give y'all a sight of what it is. And for anybody who hasn't raced this race, you get to see it. I'm putting it up Friday because I want to get my last Swift Insider in tomorrow. I break those up 4 days in a row. I would do it more. I don't know. Eventually I may, because I'm getting to the point where I'm doing enough races that I can fill every day with a race. I'm doing about, I want to say I'm doing roughly 10 races a week. So, and that's not hard for me to do. That's with me, because I ride almost every day except maybe 2 days a week, at most 3. So some days I come downstairs and I may ride 2 or 3 rides in one time, and then I'll call it a day. Like today, I ran this one today. I was gonna do another one, but I have to be in Tallahassee tomorrow. I'm in Atlanta. I have to be in Tallahassee at 8 o'clock in the morning, which ain't nothing but like a 4.5 hour drive. But I'm thinking about leaving out today, so I'll have to do it all in the morning. So if I leave out today, I'm not gonna run nothing else. As I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the race, this is my makeup. To get started, to get rolling is gonna be my makeup, and whatever they come out with next month, or I think these run all the way through 3 months, or whatever they is, a seasonal race. But this is kind of my makeup for the Swift Racing League, since I can't do them on Tuesday night. Even though I was home yesterday, that's a rarity. Normally I leave on Monday and I come back Thursday. My run that I was due to take to Maryland was canceled, so I'm just doing these couple of runs to Florida and back to just give me something to do. So that's the hard thing about that. I watched some of the videos, the announcers and stuff through the Class 8, the Category A races, and I was just like, wow, man, I'm watching them guys race. Them guys are good. All hands down to all of y'all who race and ride these bikes. Thank y'all for riding with me. I didn't know it was that amazing. Now, when I was riding this race, I looked up and asked, if you saw the dirt road we just passed, I just knew we was going back on another dirt road, but turns out we didn't. This race gave me because nobody was riding with me, I'm gonna tell you what, this race cost me the second race. Because this race gave me a false sense of security. And I'm gonna tell you why it gave me a false sense of security. Y'all may be thinking I'm joking, but it really did. Because if you see, when I go down this hill, I'm gonna hit like 40-something miles an hour. And for the most part, what I should have done is realize that since I'm gonna hit that no matter what, just let myself relax and let me roll with everybody else. And then, like I said, timing is everything, kicking in at 1,000 feet. But on the other races, they was riding me so long, I thought that when I hit the hill, if I just kept pedaling, I was gonna leave them. But hindsight would have been to stop pedaling and let myself coast down that hill. Because I get myself started, get me up to about 39, 40 miles an hour, let them chase me, and then at the last moment, pick it in and go. I decided to pedal all the way down the hill. Bad move on myself. That was all. That race should have been mine. It really should have. But I tired myself out. I don't see right here, I'm pedaling hard. There's no need for doing that. I should just wait till I'm down at the bottom, because I'm fighting my weight, because no matter what, I'm not gonna get no faster. Really not, because I'm pushing that bike almost to its limit. You see 44, 43 miles an hour, it tops out at. If I just stopped pedaling and just let myself coast down most of the hill with everybody, they would have been pedaling and I would have been fine. Now we on to the second race, and on this second race, like I said, the first race gave me a sense of false security. On this one, I'm starting to nail my takeoff. My takeoff is really big to me. If you see on here, I'm gonna nail it perfect. And as I nail it, I don't know who this one guy is, but he jumps in front of me and it doesn't frighten me no more. I saw him take off like he was gonna leave us in the dust, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm gonna stay consistent with my pedaling, I'm gonna stay consistent where I'm at. What I do, I turn my knob up powerful. What I'm doing now, I'm actually treating it like gears. I turn it up so I can get more power out of my takeoff. Then I wind it back down so I can bring myself back down about 450, which you can see, my FTP don't went up. This is the rate that caused my FTP to go up. I'm turning it up now so that I can get more out of the race as I'm riding. So I turned it up, I get going, and as I go, I turn it back down so that I have enough time I turn it back down so that I can kind of lower my heart rate. And if you notice my heart rate, it starts to slowly tick up, because it is a significant amount of power that I'm putting in now. But I used to road rage this thing at 500 for a lot of the race, and that will wear me out by the end of the race. I'm starting to find that sweet spot where I can ride about 450 for about 25, 30 minutes. If I can ride about 450 for about 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I feel great. That's a good, powerful spot for me to ride. That's about, at 40 minutes, if I can ride that, that starts to give me 15, 16 miles in. And that's why I'm trying to get to the point where I can ride this FTP for a whole hour, holding it for an hour. That's a hard thing to do for me at that power. But for me at my size, that's not a big thing. If you notice, my kilowatts, my weight to kilowatt is still only 2.5, 2.4. So I'm not really shooting up too high. The numbers are huge because I'm a huge guy. So and I'm starting to learn when I hit this one a little too early. My helmet, I should have held off on the last one for the heels, specifically for the heels. I think I had one. I don't know after this, but I had one more come up. And while we riding, KB, I thought, let me be honest, I thought that maybe because I'm riding at a consistent 450, and I'm noticing that he has to put out a lot more watts to keep with me. He must be he's a really good rider. Cause I don't know who the OTRs are, but he's a pretty good guy. And it was me, him, A. Johnson, and D. Miller, which I've rode with D. Miller a couple of times. We was all riding in a pack. But as this race continued to go at this pace, you would notice a ton of I think it ended up just being me, D. Miller, and K. Brown at the end of this thing. We was only three close to each other. And it was just because we was pushing so long. That pace that we keep up when we riding is not a slow pace. And like I told everyone, I've been saying, I'm gonna start picking up my pace because I wanna be able to roll at this pace for 40 minutes. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up the pace because I'm trying to keep this pace that I'm going at 450, 400 right now for 40 minutes, 45 minutes. This is not, I've been riding and I'll bring it down. I want this to be my pace. So if I have to get out in front and pace this thing, and if you can get in front of me, I will ride with you, but I'm not slowing down my pace because I want it. If I can't make the ZRL this time, maybe I can make it next time. If I can make it next time in Class D, I want to be able to ride. I watched them guys ride yesterday, and I'm like, I'm doing the right thing. I got to get this pace up. And as you see, we coming around on people who were still behind us in the race, and I didn't realize that until I come back around. But I like this race, so I may run this twice Sunday. I don't think I'm gonna run it again on Saturday, because Saturday get a lot of riders in. I don't know why the ZRLs are not on Saturday, but it may because of the way maybe because of the way things are. That I don't know why. I don't know if it rotates days or that's just the day it's on. But somebody let me know and comment. Y'all are great at doing that, and I'm very thankful for that. So we coming to gravel. In fact, a lot of this gravel, I'm in front. It does not fit. When I first started riding, y'all would hear me talk about the gravel, and now big gravel is an enemy. If it's an extended gravel road, if this thing was 1.5 miles long, maybe then it would really start affecting me. But you gotta understand, everybody else chose the kind of bikes we have, and I don't think only one guy has the Tron bike, so I'm not worried about too much about him. So as we coming through here, only people I'm really worried about I'm worried about us four. But I started noticing that AJ is slowly, every once in a while he'll tick back some. And you see us, we all ride, and I notice he's the one on the Tron bike. He slows down some, but we're all riding. And I'm thinking, no, was he on? No, D. Miller's the one on the, K. Brown is the one on the Tron bike. And AJ is the one behind me. And I see him and I say, okay, he's doing good. And as we keep going, as you see, as we get to the end of this thing, us three start actually leaving everybody. We just, it doesn't bother us no more. This hill is this gravel hill right here, I can roll with it. As long as it's not popping up into the 15s, as long as it stay on the 6, 7, 6 is hard for me, because that's when it really digs in. But what I'm noticing is everybody else has to use street bikes too, unless you're switching, and I don't give you enough time to switch. If you gotta stop and switch, you're gone. It's just that you're not gonna catch up to me no more. I'm staying at this pace. So what I did is that I figured everybody was gonna be on the same bike except the Tron bike, which I think can run through everything, which I cannot wait to get one of those. I am working my butt off. So we're coming around on this end, and I had the what I was saying earlier, I had the false sense of purity, because in my head I was thinking, once we get to the second half, since I ran this race the day before, I knew once we got to a mile, it was all downhill. And I got this false sense of security that if I go downhill, when we start going downhill, all I gotta do is just sit back and relax and just keep the pedals going. No, I'd sit back and relax. That's what I thought the day before. But since I was riding with somebody who was actually on my tail the whole time, I decided to keep pedaling. If you notice, I'm still going at a pretty good rate. And yeah, I got the thing, and I put it in, and I'm thinking, okay, if I can get this thing on up to 40 miles an hour and we come down this hill, this is gonna be great. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm thinking in my head, I'm just gonna leave everybody. And I had this, and if I had thought about it and just did like I planned to, was just get going with the helmet on, get myself up to a speed, come off the pedals just for a moment, let me coast down to about, even I would let myself coast down to half a mile. It'd have been fine, but I kept pedaling. If you notice, look at me. For me, it does no good to pedal. My weight is doing all the work anyway. It's not like I may be adding a consistent 2 miles to it. I didn't need to do that. All I need to do is sit down and look at K and D. They both coasting off me and riding right behind me and pedaling up. But if I would have just waited and started pedaling, it would have been a lot better. But no, I decided to keep pedaling on down the hill. So now my legs, you see the red, I'm tired. I'm tired because I kept pedaling. And if I had stopped pedaling and waited, I could have had the energy to finish this thing out. My timing is still some work. I came in second. I'm happy about that. I want to say thank y'all for watching this race. Thank y'all for being there for me. Ride on.